Hey, so this week I wanted to talk about something that had happened in my life recently, and that is that I found out I'm dyspraxic. If you don't know what dyspraxia is, it's a form of developmental coordination disorder affecting kind of fine and or gross motor skills, and can also affect speech, as just proven there by me attempting to say words. The cause, they don't actually know what causes dyspraxia, which is always fun, but they believe it's to be known, and they think it's actually caused by a disruption in the way that messages from the brain are then transmitted to the body. Like, one thing I have is I struggle with writing for a long time and typing, so it can be painful, and that's because when my brain tells my hands to do something, it gets mixed up and doesn't quite do it right, which is good when I have to draw a lot. But yeah, other than knowing that it slightly affects my hands, I don't actually know how it's affecting me, as I only actually had my tests, or I only got tested the other day for it, so it takes a while for the full report to come through, so looking forward to reading that. So yeah, after finding this out about myself, I kind of actually looked back on everything that happened in my life and realised it kind of made sense. Because from a young age I had to have speech therapy, which they've recommended I started getting again, which is, I think that's the bit I find more scary over everything else, is that that's come back because a part of my job as a theatre designer is presentations, really, and that's standing up in front of someone, not just someone, actually a large group of people, and trying to get my ideas across to them in an efficient way. And sometimes I find that difficult. That's something I can struggle with, like seeing a word. I can see a word, I know the word, I just can't always say the word, and that just frustrates me. Also, if I'd known about having dyspraxia earlier, I would have got the help in my exams that I needed, especially at A-levels, but I can't do anything about that now. So let's not think about the past too much. But yeah, talking to the examiner about this, or the person who tested me about this, he actually suggested one of the reasons why I didn't get tested when I was earlier was because at GCSE level I was getting the grades that were good enough for them. I was getting A's and B's, so they didn't think it was a problem. So yeah, to be completely honest, I hadn't even thought about getting tested for, or actually I went for a dyslexia test and turned out I'm dyspraxic. So yeah, I hadn't even thought about going for a test until my flatmate suggested that I talk to someone at uni about it, because she could see that I was struggling more and more with my speech and my spelling, and she's also dyspraxic, so she had inklings that I was either dyslexic or dyspraxic. The reason why I wanted to make this video was to kind of urge more people to go talk to someone, because I know what I was like as a teenager. I wouldn't talk to anyone about if I was struggling. I would keep it inside, keep it all bottled up, which isn't helpful, and sometimes there could be a really simple solution to the problem. Just like talking it out can sometimes help, because I know I find that I'll panic over something small. Like the other week I was panicking over the fact that I didn't have an idea for the new project that we're doing at uni, and we're now 2 weeks away from the final deadline, and I thankfully do have a idea to present. But when I didn't, I was just like, I don't know what to do. I just had no idea, and I will admit 2 days of that week I spent trying to think of an idea. I was underneath my duvet hiding from all my responsibilities, and looking back now, not the best idea to do, because it meant I was behind on where I wanted to be, but I've made it up. I've made up time now, thankfully. But yeah, as I was saying, if you talk to someone, it can be anyone you choose, someone you trust, someone who you don't know, and you might feel more comfortable talking to someone you don't know compared to someone who you know. It can be a friend, it can be a family member, it can be a teacher, it can be someone at school who's just there to talk to students, to help them through. They might be able to point you in the right direction of who you should talk to. And even if you think it's something stupid and small, it probably isn't. they probably had people come to them and talk to them about stuff that's possibly more insignificant than your problem or just your problem. They will have a lot of students coming to them or stressed over something small, stressed over a project, stressed over coursework. That's what they're there for. They are there for you to talk to. And as I was saying, it doesn't have to be someone from school or college or uni. It can be a friend who you're close to, and sometimes and they know you, and they might be able to point out, be like, actually, you should talk to someone more depth about this, or you're just panicking. You just need to think it through, slow down, talk it through with them. It's just simple things like that, really. So yeah, one thing I am trying to do this year, because I know how I can get caught up on all the little things that go wrong and really stresses me out. I managed to break a stress ball last year, which is impressive. Is me and my flatmate have made a jar, and we've called it the Jar of Happiness, where all through the year we write on a piece of paper what good things have happened to us in our life, put it in the jar, and we're going to read through them in the new year, and just kind of a nice way to reflect on the past year. And if that's something you feel like will help, I advise you do it. It's just something small and fun, and it can really brighten up your day when you just read back over them and be like, oh, I went to the cinema that day. I think I did put in, one of my things I did put in was I went to see Big Hero 6. It's the small things that I was going to celebrate this year. So it's up to you what you do, but hopefully something in this has been helpful. My spiel has helped you in some way.